Welcome to Civitai.com, the home of the generative AI art community. If you enjoy this video, please consider hitting us with a like and subscribing, as it'll go a long way in helping us continue to bring you the highest quality AI community content. Please enjoy the video. Today, we are joined by my good friend Yvann.mp4, and it's Illien, right?
Hey.
Illien? All right. So, if you guys remember, last time we had Yvann on, we did some touch designer stuff, and he shared a very cool SDXL morphing workflow with us. But today, Yvann, why don't you tell the people what we got going on, and also give them a little intro on your friend.
Yes. Okay. So, hey everyone, back again. And this time, I have made a pack of nodes for ComfyUI based on node activity. So you're gonna get the link. When you're gonna install my workflow, you're gonna have a new node to install, and it's gonna be my node pack that I made with Illien. Basically, what we have done is I worked on this project for like 1 month and a half, and I really wanted to add some feature that is from Touch Designer, really in ComfyUI, and add some more spicy things to like manipulate the diffusion, control net, animate diff, things like that, and IPAdapter, of course. And so I work on that and some workflow. And so we have some audio active visual now. And so my friend Illien joined me. You joined me when? Yes, I'm Illien. I helped my friend Yvann since 1 or 2 weeks. Generally, I made a 3D animation with train on Blender. But since some months, I just ComfyUI, and I try a lot settings and workflow with this customer, and I built some workflow by like text to video or video to video. Also, I made the animation with the pen. Yeah, with the colorful. We're gonna show them. But the animation that you talk about is the one on Civitai, the first one. It's an audio active and on the Daft Punk, and it's with N, and he made the animation, the basic of the animation.
Okay, real quick, let's show them. So I know you guys can't hear this. There's no audio on this video right now, but the animation here is shifting to the audio that was originally on the video. Now, just to give a little bit of context here, Yvann is very good in Touch Designer, and he's incorporated Touch Designer with his animate diff work for quite some time. And we were talking a little bit before the stream started, and he really wants to be able to work with audio reactivity directly in Comfy in a higher level way. So that is where this whole idea and what they built came from, because they don't want to always have to leave ComfyUI when they want to work with the audio reactivity in their animations. So
yeah, and there's just something else. It's not just to transfer some things to design from Touch Designer. It's also that when we work with AI animations, the thing is that we have a lot of things that we can modify, schedule, and things like that. Like, for example, with IPAdapter, we can feed a batch of image. For animate diff, we can modify the weight over the time of the amount of motion. We can modify also the weight of the control net. Basically, it's a lot of things that we can modify specifically in AI that we can't in other audio software. And the idea of this node is not just to like add some audio activity feature like mask, audio active, things like that. It's really to modify the way that the AI module work, like the style for IPAdapter, the motion for animate diff, directly with the audio transformed into value that this AI module in ComfyUI can accept and use it to modify their way to like show style or use a control net to like really make an audio activity directly in the core of the like latent space and the diffusion, and not just add some audio activity in the front, like really put it on the pipeline of ComfyUI.
Awesome. So a couple things before we dive into the workflow. In the chat, I have shared the link to the Civitai page. If you're on Twitch, that is pinned to the top. You can go there to download the workflow. There is also a link to Yvonn's GitHub where the node pack is located. If you guys can go to his GitHub page, and in the top right-hand corner, there's a little star. If you guys can click the stars for Yvann, it really helps him out on GitHub. And this is in general for any node pack that you guys use for ComfyUI. If you can star their GitHub page, it really helps them get seen and get found and gives them more credibility. So help Yvann build more cool things for you guys like this by just doing that one small action to help support the effort. So don't just go to the Civitai page, go to the GitHub page, click the little star in the top right-hand corner on it. It goes a long way in helping them get seen and all that good stuff. So I'll share the link throughout this whole thing, but yeah, Yvann, let's get your screen up and let's
that's one point. I'm just gonna show an animation that Illien did a couple minutes ago. I think we're not gonna hear the audio, but we're gonna post it soon. And for this example, what have you meant for this render? I'm just gonna show it. Just how can I show my screen? I just share screen with my side. Okay.
Yeah.
Up. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we got the infinite screen going on.
Nice. Okay, so Illien, talk just a little bit about this animation.
Hi, Corey. For this is workflow text to video, and I use a 4 image in a reference. With 4 image, I create with other model prompt and use prompt schedule to create this animation. Basically, is that?
Yeah, and the idea is that we're not gonna show this workflow today, but like we can do it. We're gonna also show other thing today. But the idea is that this one is really made without IPAdapter or something like that. It's really like you just inject the weight of the audio directly in AnimateDiff, and you can hear the audio, but basically the motion slow down and increase bass on the audio, and it's just really trippy and fun to make. And it was made with what motion model?
The
tool.
I think yes. AnimateDiff V2.
Yeah,
V2, not V3 because it's not stable.
It depends. It just on this page.
Yes. Okay. I think.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because we all go to Runway, Luma, and things like that. But I think we have a lot to see and test with AnimateDiff.
I agree.
Have not been exploited yet.
I agree. So just to say what I always say on here, we get so many new tools so quickly and so often now that people jump from workflow to workflow and tool to tool before the full capabilities are ever really found in any one thing, it feels like. And I really respect people that plant their feet and go all in and stick with one workflow for a really long time and take it as far as they can.
Yep, that's the idea of open source. Let's go in. Okay, so let's go present the workflow.
Okay, that's all for me. I will let Yvann explain his workflow.
Yep, let's go. And for the accent, we are French, so I've seen some baguette on the prompt. So yeah, okay.
In my Instagram chat, someone said "Viva la France." So, and also, so Lillian, I know you're not super active on social media, but guys, I'm sure he will be because I'm sure Yvann will push him to post more things. His Twitter account is in the Twitch chat, so make sure you go give him a follow as well because he helped Yvann on this node pack.
And we're gonna continue. We're gonna add a lot of nodes, so we're gonna see a lot of things to come. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Yvann.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian.
Bye.
Yeah. So thanks. So the background is not really as cool as you, Jibu. but I'll do my
it's
best.
it's all good. I do this all the time. I put extra effort into doing this. It's all good. This is my job. This is part of my job. We'll say that.
I'm just minimalist, you know. Next. Okay. So let's go share my real screen. So let's go right into it. This is the ComfyUI workflow. So have you sent the link? Yeah.
Yes, they all have the link to the Civitai page where they can download this. I will share it again, but it is pinned to the top of the Twitch chat. I am going to share the link right now in YouTube as well as in Instagram. But Instagram, if you would like to play along with it, that you're just gonna have to go find a way to copy the link or come watch us on Twitch and click the link. Sunny, I would say this will work on Mac OS if you use a cloud GPU service, because you're probably going to need an actual GPU with some VRAM for this.
No, for this one, what's interesting, you need GPU, of course. But last time I showed an Excel workflow. But this one, we have done our best to minimize the amount of computation. So for this workflow, we have 11, but you can just go with 8 steps. So it's a 1.5 workflow, but we use IPAdapter. So this is kind of it works like LCM, but I think we get better results from my side because we get like the detail and the texture of 1.5 that LCM kind of eliminate in some case. Sometimes we have just too much like slow and smooth between the shape and the texture. And so using IPAdapter with Alora, I have put the link here so you can download it easily. This Alora that we put, and that's gonna help us to reduce the steps of 1.5, but still using 1.5. So this is the point of IPAdapter, and I really like the result with it. So yeah.
So this is using the HyperSD LoRa with AnimateDiff v2. So we're not using LCM for this.
Okay, yeah, no. For this workflow, the one that Illien talked about is another workflow with a text to video. For this one is a video to video, and we use AnimateDiff v3.
Okay.
But don't worry because you have all the links here if you don't know. So we use v3, and we use the v3 adapter to smooth the thing. Okay, so I think we're good to go, like state by state, maybe. What do you think, Jibug? We can start?
Yep, we are good to go.
Okay. So if I can just segment the workflow to explain each part, you can maybe see that we have no group on this workflow because I don't really like group because we can't move things as easily when we have done groups. So to like see what part of the workflow are the same, use the same process and the same technology, you can just see the colors. So for example, here we're gonna load all that we need. Here we're gonna have the IPAdapter. Here we're gonna have the AnimateDiff. Here we're gonna have the control net for have some reference as input. And here we have the first path. So so the VRAM needed for the workflow. I know that my friend Illien that was here run it easily on a 8 giga VRAM GPU. So and really fast, like you do like maybe I don't know like 200 frames. I don't want to, but I think it was on like 10 minutes, 10 or 5.
So it can work on 8, but even better if you have more.
Yeah, and I think it will also work on 6 giga. I really think because we are when he was using it was not at the max of the GPU. So I think we can run it on 6 giga of GPU, but maybe maybe the upscale not gonna be possible. But maybe at least with a less upscale. But yeah. And yes, the workflow is public.
It is pinned at the top of the Twitch chat, Cosmic. Go get it.
Okay. Yeah, so each part is based on colors, so you can just see what is going on. And the big part that I'll not talk about at the moment is the audio reactive part. So like the heart of this workflow and what makes it interesting. So my nodes are these two one. When you're gonna load the workflow to install it, you're gonna have, of course, I'm missing custom node because I've just made public my workflow like no longer ago. And it's gonna be this, or you can just type my name, so Yvann, and when you're gonna have to install it with the missing custom node, you just install this one and you're good to go. And so the node that we use from my pack on this workflow, because we have other node, we can see it by just typing YVR. I have other node that I use, this one. But for this workflow, we're gonna use the audio reactive and the IPAdapter audio reactive. So I'm gonna launch the workflow. I'm gonna use this bypass to start. I'm gonna allow me to just not generating anything because before generating, I want to see the audio and how the like audio reacts and like just pre-process the audio. I'm just gonna choose another audio, I think, because I don't really like this one. We're gonna get this one, and yeah, maybe this one. We're gonna just use the node of VHS to load audio and just advance a little bit. And so I'm good to launch the workflow. So we load the video and things like that. So when you load the workflow, you have two possibilities. If you have audio on your video, you can just grab the audio here and connect it on this one. This node is just a node, like a set node that's gonna just enable globally the variable that take as input audio and has the title Yvann. So I can just like link my audio to my node easily without having to reconnect each time when I add my node. So you can do that. And if you have another audio that is not connected to your video, you can just load it with this node and connect it like it was at the beginning. And so the idea with that is that you can really just have fun with any audio, with any video, because you don't have to connect it with another software. Basically, it's just gonna, if you have a video that is less longer than the audio, my node just gonna crop the audio at the frame, at the last frame of my video. So don't worry about that. I'm just gonna rescale this one. And so you can see that we have some new thing on the workflow. I'm just gonna delete the notes. We have new things. So we have this graph. It can look a little bit like complicated or strange in ComfyUI, but it's actually really simple. So if we like just follow the flow of the workflow, the beginning is here. After that, we have this, and all the rest is for basic diffusion for video to video. So make sure to look that this is the beginning. Like you're gonna look at the graph that is generated by that, and after that you can look at this one. So this first one, because I talk a lot, but I don't talk about the node. So let's go. So this node, what is gonna take as input is the audio, the batch size. Which you can see that with this funny node. The batch size is just what we get from the video. It's just like the frame count, but we just get it from the video info. Here, you see. So yeah, so we get the batch size of the video and the audio, and we get also the FPS, so the frame rate that we get also from the video. And when we have this information, we can start process the audio, and so we're gonna process the audio on the amount of frame of the batch size, so the input video. So now that it's not have been launched, we have a graph and the audio and the audio weight that have been connected here. If we look at each parameter, it's pretty simple. We have the analyze mode that is a small AI model that is made to separate different audio composition on an audio. So basically, you can just click on this checkbox and choose what type of audio separation you want. Like if you just want to make an animation audio reactive that choose the drums, you choose the drums. You want to process the full audio and tweak it yourself with the parameter you choose, and you can choose what you want. And for example, if we want to just listen to what this node that separate audio have been made, we can just listen to the process. Debug, I think we don't hear the sound on the live.
We should be able to if you have your audio on. Try play it. No, I'm not.
Well, I guess it's not a big problem as long as the person that uses this workflow can just do it on the side.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry, guys. It works. It's reacting to the audio. It's all good. Just make sure you pick if you wanted to do the drums, the bass, or the vocals.
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna hear from the process audio is just the drums, because we have choose to have the drums. We can see at the graph that it's some peak like that.
Oh, okay. So it's going to separate out the part that you select.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And we can see the separate part on the per process. Or if you just want the original audio that have been cropped by the size of your video, you can just grab this one. And basically I connect the original audio with this node to the video generation. So I make sure to have the audio cropped on the result video, So yeah. And when we have pre-processed the audio with the small AirSpat model, we just have a lot of settings that I think I'm just gonna let you play with it. It's some settings that allow you to manually change the weight of the audio. Like for example, if we look at this graph, you can see that we have the process audio, and here we have the peak, the amount, when a peak is up, is that a drums or a bass that you choose on the separate is hitting, it just strong, it's strong. And when it's lower, is that it don't detect a lot of sound. And when you have that, basically what you see is weight. Like for example, if I use the node from Matteo, the amazing Matteo, you can just display what this node outputs, and it looks like confusing, but it's just what you see on the graph, but with value. Like you see a big value on the beginning and things like that. And this is important because this is what you're gonna send to this node, and this is what's gonna do the audio activity. Basically, it's just weights, some are big, some are small. That's gonna guide the animation through time to say that, when you have a big weight, is that you have to push the style up, and when you have a low weight, you have to push the style less. This is just like that. When you have a big number, it modifies the strength, for example, of the IPAdapter, and when you have small number, it sends a small style because you have a small weight. I see of the comments, someone asked if it's compatible for live performance. Actually, no, because it's made with ComfyUI, and ComfyUI is not really made for live because if you want to do live, I actually choose to designer. But because it renders fast, you can just render something in 10 minutes and you have your audio active video at the end. So I don't see a big an issue, at least if you just want to make cool audio active video. And so yeah, so when you manipulate this parameter and this parameter, you transform the audio into weights that are just numbers that's gonna be useful for the audio activity of the workflow. So it's just audio converted to number value that is helpful for IPAdapter, AnimaDiff, and anything that you use with my pack of nodes. And so I can just show quickly what this parameter do. If I modify the threshold, if you want more indication about what this parameter do, you can just go check on GitHub, and you have all the information of what each input do, so you can manipulate yourself. So if I just, for example, reduce the threshold, a really low value, you can see that we detect more things. I'm gonna make him more lower and get the full audio. Yeah, you can see now that I'm get a lot of things. You don't hear the audio because of the stream, but it's basically like what we hear from the audio, but in weight. So we can see that on the audio we have big peaks.
Hey, Yvann, real quick, because people keep asking, how do you get Comfy to show you the flow of the connection? So like when you click on the node, you know how the noodles are glowing. Tell them how to do that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this one is really helpful. It's from a pack of nodes that is named CG Use Everywhere. I really recommend this one. So if I show you quickly, this node, like you just have to put a node that is called anything everywhere. I like to use this one, the third one, because you can give some more information about what's not gonna be connected. So when you load it, you just connected what you want to share with the rest of the workflow here. And it's going to be a global node that's going to be applied to all of the connections that have these requirements. So for example, the title of the node has to be Yvann, and the audio, like the input, has to be audio. And to see this light with this dot, which is really cool, it's a feature of the node, and you can just activate it by go to the settings, I go to and check both for the animating. Basically, it just tell how do you want to see the connection when you go on the node, because this node not connect directly a node. You can see that we have nothing when we don't click here. We want to see what is the link that we feed as input. So you just have to go over the node and you see like the connection like that. So it's not a feature of ComfyUI. It's really made possible with this awesome developer that makes this pack. So shout out to him. And yeah. So for example, when I reduce the threshold, I get more audio data, and when I increase it, I get way less audio data. What is important? Why is it important? Is because when you're gonna feed the weight to your animation, you want to really control where the style gonna be it, or the transition of animatic gonna be changed, and all of this thing is directly related to the weight. Like if you have a lot of weight, your transition maybe not gonna be really visible, because there's so much data that maybe you're gonna switch like you're gonna switch each frame of audio because you just have a lot of peak. If you want to just switch on less peak, because you only want to have an audio activity on the big, the big peak of your audio, the thing that we hear the most. You just have to filter some of your audio, and all of this nodes do this kind of manipulation that you're gonna see on the documentation of GitHub. It's just for manipulate the result weight that we get from the audio. So yeah, you just have to play with it, and you see that it's really fast. You just have to add some value, and basically it's just gonna modify the numeric value based on the audio, and it's gonna help us to make an audio activity at the end. So I have made everything.
So the peaks that we see on the graph, that's where the weights from the IPAdapter are going to change, right?
Yep, exactly.
Because it's going with the beat.
Yeah, actually, real quick, just to show you what you said, but I'm gonna explain it there. You can see, like we have the peak, and the peak is detected at switch. I'm gonna explain it there because it can be confusing, but it's really like simple when we explain it. So I'm just gonna give back the parameter that I had because it works well. Up like that. The threshold we can set it to 5. And we have our peak. Okay, so now that we have our audio that has been cleaned by this node, we can just feed the weight that I have shown you here, that represents the peak. As I've told you on the graph. And so I'm gonna feed the audio weight. So the audio weight is this. So the result of the graph, but in a numerical value. And now we are on the fun part, because this one is kind of boring. You have to tweak some value, things like that, but it's the game. Like you have to have some control over it to really have your audio activity. And now we have the fun part. So I'm just gonna drink, because I talk a lot. Okay. So this node is called IPAdapter Audio Reactive. Basically, it's inspired from the IPAdapter weight that Matteo from the IPAdapter custom node pack have made. So if you look at the IPAdapter weight, you see it's kind of similar. We send weight and weight inverse as image 2. I've just add some extra feature. But basically, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna get image inputs. You can see image 1, image 2, image 3, image 3, image 4. You can give any image that you want. You can send it, I don't know, like 100 or 20 image that you like, any image. And this image gonna be feed to a batch. So it's just gonna combine the image into a list and feed to my IPAdapter audio active node. And so this node, what it's gonna do is gonna get the information that we have from here, and it's gonna use this information to make switch between image. So this is really important. I can show you more visually something with another node from Matteo. I'm gonna explain real quick. I just connect, and after that I'm gonna explain. Okay, so we feed. Oh, I have to convert it. Okay, so I'm just converting the weight to a mask with a QJ pack of node. So you're gonna see we can see what is going on with the image. Okay, so we have the image. I think you're gonna understand a little bit. I'm just gonna explain that the IPAdapter that we use, because we work with a video and multiple image, we want to have a smooth morph between the different images that you feed as input, and this morph gonna appear where you have the peak of your audio. So if you have your bass, like for this example, that go up like that, you can see that you have the red dots on it. That means that here we have a peak on your audio. So where we have a peak, we're gonna switch image, and we can see it easily on this preview. We have our image, like up, the image going on the green line, and when a peak occurs, we switch smoothly to the next image. Oh, it's not a really beautiful image. Sorry for that. Like I like it, but I know it's kind of strange. So when the peak occurs, with this node, with these parameters, you're gonna make a smooth transition at the time of the audio go up. And so when the peak occurs, the image that has been diffused with IPAdapter the whole time, I'm gonna launch the diffusion so you can see as long as I'll talk about what is the result. It's the first time I test this kind of image, so we're gonna see. And yeah, so when we have the peak, we do the transition. We have another image that gonna continue to be diffused as IPAdapter like that, like all this line. And you can see here the frame number. So like, for example, we can see that the frame coincide, like we have 12 frames for IPAdapter of this image. And we can see on the graph that we have 12. We are approximately at the 12 values. It's just that it has been like reduced the scale. But at the 12 frame, I touched my screen, but you don't see it, but it's funny. At the 12 frame, this image gonna switch smoothly to the next image, and so the smooth appears when the peak on the audio appears. Mm-hmm. And so based on that, this process is just gonna be repeat. Like the audio advance, we are at the like, I don't know, maybe 28 frame, and we are at the so the 29 frame. We can see that we have another peak, so the image switch smoothly to the next image of IPAdapter. And so this is made possible because we use IPAdapter batch that I'm gonna explain later. That just gonna take as input a batch of image. Maybe when you use IPAdapter, you use only one image or two. I know that Debug on his workflow, you can like give 4 images and they are mixed. When you do that, I don't know if you use batch, but when you mix image, you mix them like in some kind of one image. But when you use IPAdapter batch, you're gonna feed a list of images, and this list of image gonna be shown at each frame. Like for example, if you have 10 frames of video and you feed it for the five frame a photo of a flowers, and for like the 5 other frame you show a hippopotamus, you are gonna have IPAdapter trying to apply the style of flowers for 5 frame, and at the 5 frame you're gonna try to style with hippopotamus. And so the thing with this pack of node is, instead of just making the image and do manually this image appear 5 frames, this image appear 10 frame, we're just gonna with what we see here, we're gonna schedule where the frame are and where they're gonna switch with the peak of audio. And this is what is interesting, and this is what I have need to make another IPAdapter node, because currently we can't feed a custom list of a value like the one that I showed you here on the IPAdapter weight. And so if you want to make special cut, I have to make it myself, which is not. And so we can look quickly at the result. It's just the low res one. It's not even at 510 but you can hear the audio, but basically you can see that the still switch at each peak of audio. So this works like that. You have your frame, and that at the beginning you have this one. After that you have the other style, and it go like that. And each time it's kept at the peak of your audio. And I find it just so fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun in the next few months. Okay, nice.
We got people playing around with it, and he said that it is amazing.
Yeah, I don't hear the audio on my AirPods, so it just disconnected. I'm just gonna jump. Sorry for that.
No worries. Hey, if you guys make anything cool with this, or even just your experiments, please be sure to post them to Yvonn's workflow page, so people can see in the gallery the cool stuff that was made with the workflow. Please post it to the Civitai page.
Sure, I will be really happy to see that. Even if you have if you don't understand something, just send an issue or GitHub, or if GitHub is too strange for you, you can just send me a DM on Instagram, and then I will help you.
And also, because there's more people here now than when I said it in the beginning, I just posted the link to the GitHub page for his node pack. I know a lot of you are just going to grab the workflow and go into Comfy and install the nodes from the manager. Please take a minute, go to his GitHub page and click the stars in the top right-hand corner. It really helps him advance on GitHub and get seen more and adds credibility. So support him just by clicking the stars on the GitHub page.
Thanks. Yeah. So I think it's time to explain a little bit more this one, but maybe you have are my explanation are clear? Have you some questions at the moment?
I think it's all good. They'll be able to go back and rewatch it on YouTube, and also they just gotta play with it, man. They gotta play with it, and they gotta make some cool, weird stuff on their own too.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm happy with that, because
it seems pretty straightforward. It seems pretty straightforward once you download your nodes and you get your models set up. It seems pretty straightforward. So I guess my question is, do you only need an input video? You do not need a mask. And for the best results, should your input video be on black, or does this video just happen to be on black?
That is what is really interesting. If you want, you don't need an input video. The input video is just that I like this video of N, so I want my audio activity to follow the N. But I can just remove this, and the audio activity gonna work also well. You're just gonna have a mix. You're just gonna have mix between this kind of image in an uncontrollable way, because you're just gonna try to push the structure of this style and like that. But these features like text to video, like we do this, we're gonna show it later with a note, like maybe next week, because there are a lot of things to do. Because when we don't have video inputs, we can just go crazy and and manipulate the data in the latent space, like as we do. We can modify the weight of an image. We can modify the weight of IPAdapter in a way that is trained. Like we can just, you know the weird video with runway or something like that. You can make the same with animate GIF. You just have to be creative and just don't have a reference video or something like that. Just like let the model have some liberty and guide it with, I don't know, maybe audio data. And yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can use any video. For example, this video, I don't encode it. Like you just have to remember that. I don't use VIE encode for this video. I just give an empty latent batch. So I give nothing from the video. I just give some reference from the depth. But if you want, I can just like just gonna lower the frame so it's a little bit quickly. Up. I'm just gonna feed it without control net, and you're gonna see that it works. It may be not gonna be really stable because just the image as reference are just really different and messed up.
All good, man. All good. We like the weird stuff around here.
Okay, nice. And yeah, so this node, there are really simple settings that can really just help us to do a lot of things. I talked about the transition between images here. Like for example, that this one gonna be, you can see, that it slides to the next image. But what you can do is that if, for example, you have a song that kicks a lot, like a techno song that is really fast, and you don't want the smooth transition that look too gentle, you can just reduce the transition frame. And this kind of parameters, they are not in the IPAdapter weight. And this is what I think is also interesting. You can just lower the transition frame, and you can see that no, I've launched the upscale.
By default, what is the transition frame set to?
The transition frame is set to 5, but you're gonna see when you're gonna load the node. But basically, it kind of depends. You have to keep that in mind on your frame rate, because your frame rate is the amount of frame that you have per second. And the thing is that if, I don't know, you put like 10 frames per second, you're really not gonna have a lot of image per second. And so you're not gonna see the audio activity as detailed as if you have more frames per second. Because we do smooth between frames, if we have like, because for example, if I use 24 frames, I have 24 images per second, but if I use 12, I have twice less. And so this means that we're gonna have twice less space between images to make smooth transition, So if you want to have a smooth result, go for 24 or even 30 FPS. And because this workflow is like use really low resolution, you're gonna be good. It's gonna work even on video normally. It's not an issue, like you don't have to reduce the FPS because the workflow is too big. And yeah, so you can see the example that have been generated. So there are no ends, no control net, and it just switch, like really ugly switch because it's just the first time I run it, between the different image. You can see that it's less smooth because you have also to keep in mind is that if you don't guide the motion module with some kind of control net or I don't know, mask or VIE encode, the motion model don't have really, a consistency to follow. And because the motion module is trained on, for example, this one set frame, when you have to switch, like for a more longer video, like more than this set frame, the cut gonna be thin because we don't have a reference on the video to guide it to follow some path. You're gonna have some more difficulty to make smooth transition between the different 16 frame by 16 frame by 16 frame. But yeah, it's not important. I'm just gonna explain the node. I think I'm got too far away. So get back to the node. So we have seen that the transition frame. I'm just gonna stop there and there. So this node also is actually really useful I know that these bugs use it a lot for his workflow at the beginning. No,
What? Which node?
this one for bypass group, a fast bypasser.
Oh, I mean, until they added the nice little buttons in the groups that just let me turn it on and off, then I just deleted them all.
Yeah, and I think it's me that show you the thing that we can implement with the bypass directly here. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You were like, whoa, what the
It's the small
And,
things. It's the small
yeah.
things.
And for that, we want to have the thing, just bypass a group with a button on the group. It's a small group, but I'm going to explain why. When you have a group, like, for example, like that, and you want to bypass it easily, you have to click bypass and in the powering. So a node pack called RG3 implement a thing that just allows us to bypass like that. And you can just click on the button here when you have RG3 installed, but if you install my workflow, you're gonna have the pack of nodes. You click here, you go on the settings, and you just have to click on this button, show fast toggle in group header, and you're gonna have this small UI that is really beautiful to toggle your group, like bypass and enable it like that. Okay, so let's go back to the node. So when we have made the transition frame, I'm gonna show you another time. I'm gonna bypass the diffusion. This time I have add more transition frame. Okay. I have add more transition frame. So when we're gonna look at the results, we're gonna see that we're gonna have a big morph between image. And for example, for this one, we have set it to 2 for the last generation, and we can see that we barely see it. Like we don't see transition because 2 is really low. So I guess we don't see it every time, and maybe it's like a really small thing. And now we have the generation with transition frame 9, and you can see that you have a long transition between the image. And so on your result, you're gonna have a really morph and smooth animation between the different image. Gonna launch it to show you. And so the other parameter of this, you have the threshold. Like basically this node, you're not gonna need it a lot. It's just for specific things that if you want to see, you can just check on the GitHub and you see on the documentation. But basically, the distance can be useful. For example, if you have a song that have a big peak, a big bass or boom, and just before the bass and maybe just after, you have a little peak, like before the bass, maybe the one that makes the song put a little noise just before the bass. And so when you want to detect only the big bass of your audio, maybe you're gonna have this small thing that you don't want. And so with this distance, you can just tell like, if I have a peak that is near this one, and it's like really close, you can just ignore it because we consider it as not really a peak and it's just some noise. And so if you increase the distance, it's basically gonna like ignore like the 5 frame from this peak and from going back here and going back here, and so you can ignore the thing that you don't want. But it's a really specific thing, and also for this one, you can see on the documentation if you really understand ask me on Instagram. But usually you don't need to play with it. You only need to play with transition frame. And timing can be interesting. Basically, timing is what like kind of mathematical formula we use to make the morph between the image. Like maybe you know that from IPAdapter. You have
Yes.
some different weight type. And this thing, I don't know if for IPAdapter it uses exactly the same way. But basically, when you have linear, it's just gonna do like that. You have a frame, and at each transition frame, you're gonna like reduce the weight to go to the other image. And if you set another one, for example, Illien gonna be more smooth at the beginning of the image that's gonna be switched, and just cut here and like have a smooth for the in, but a cut for the out, so the out for the next image, and you have the same but for the other side. for the image that come in, and you have the random. I just added for fun, but it's not gonna have a great result with it. It just gives random value on the transition frame. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna be creative and do some random stuff, but you have a lot to do. So I just added for the fun. Okay, and now that we have here, and we have understand that the green line is for seeing how long is each image, because we see that it switch, like one image, up a peak, one image, up a peak, one other image, up a peak, another image, and go by. We understand. Is it kind of clear for this node? Maybe you have some question on the chat or the chat or the books. Just tell me as long on the go, and let's go.
I understood it.
Nice. And so we have another one on the wing. Also, because we are on this side, we can use notepad that I also like. There are not a lot of nodes in it, but they are really well made. I think Jibooks, you know it, it's from Suspense. I've seen you a lot online with it and things like that, and it makes really great things. And this node, oh no, I just like remove the node that I don't choose for this workflow. It's gonna happen really quick. Okay, and basically you have a node that is called image iterator that you have a lot of parameters in it that just enable you to load a folder and just go by the different image, and you can choose it, and it's useful if you just want to have a random image that go by.
Spence is a very big fan of setting some random thing up and just letting it run overnight and coming back to thousands of videos and thousands of images. So his nodes will basically let you just plug a directory into the image nodes, and it'll just cycle through all the random images.
And and I can just like put a path of a folder. I showcase my image. I connect it to the batch, and I'm just gonna have a random image. So up like that. I'm just converted to batch because it gave a list. So batch like that. So we can see all the frame that is load. Oh no, I think we don't need that. It's just that the batch size is set to 4. Okay, but we can play with that if you want just to launch random image. Okay, so now we have made the big part. We just have to explain a little bit what this does. Basically, because we have to switch between frame, and we have no, this one not gonna good because I load only one image from my folder. But you're gonna play with it, Alan. I'm just gonna grab my image from here. Okay, so when you're gonna smooth with this transition between the different image, to make this smooth look good and just work, you have to have on your workflow 2 IPAdapter batch. Make sure to have a batch, because if you don't have batch, it can't receive a list of images input. And then it's not gonna tell you that it's an error, so make sure to have batch. And when you have 2 IPAdapter, basically the 2 IPAdapter gonna do some kind of relay between the two. Like for example, you can see that I send the image 1 and wait. So to make it simple, I send this image. You can see that I set random, and now look at the morph. It's just that it's not like we want it to be. So I'm gonna set it back to linear. And so, for example, the image 1 and wait, gonna go to the first IPAdapter batch and gonna diffuse this image, and slowly it's gonna give the relay, like it's gonna give the path, the control to the second IPAdapter that contains this image, and basically gonna reduce this weight over and over, and this other IPAdapter that gets the image 2 and wait averted gonna increase his weight more and more. So we can have like the IPAdapter with the first image go down with the weight, so like give less style, and the second IPAdapter gonna increase slowly his weight to have the second image. So this way you have the smooth. Like it just works like that, and it's just gonna repeat it over and over. So if you feed it 4 images, it's gonna have 1 image for the one IPAdapter, one for the two, up like that. And if you feed it 101 image, it's gonna work the same way just by getting one and switching between the two by decreasing the weight and increasing the weight over and over like that. So yeah, and this method is called alternate batch. So this is like that it works. You have other way to make some kind of IPAdapter weight to work on, but I don't find it really great. This one you can just don't mind, and you can just disable it. It helps sometimes, and you can feed it to the image negative like that. And you can also here change the weight up if you want to have less or more style. You just have to check the video of Matteo, Latente Vision on YouTube, to see what this weight do. And now I think we have made the path for module activity, so we can just have fun and launch the Thunder. And basically what we're gonna have is a basic thing that maybe you know. We're gonna have the control net that's just gonna get the input video and inject the depth on the model. So to guide the animation, we can see that it's really quick. Like we have launched like maybe 50 frame or 100, I don't know, 50. And we have already the result. Oh, and also for the sampler, I use a lot of nodes that I like to showcase them. I use the ComfyUI field node that I think go on the stream with you also.
Yep, machine delusions.
Yeah, and it's really like crazy node. And I like this one because it's simple for the sampler. It's just that with this kind of sampler, we don't have to have a VIE encode like that maybe you already know, and a VIE decode. On this case, we don't use VIE encode, but we use the VIE decode otherwise. And with this node, you can just give directly the input, and it's gonna do the encode and the decode if needed directly in the node, and just gonna feedback directly from the image to the video. So you don't have to add a VIE decode with a VIE. You just feed the result image to the result, and you have a decode your animation that comes from the latent space directly in image space, and it's work. Here we have the upscale. So I have put a big scale so we can generate at low resolution and upscale a lot. You can see a big difference between the two.
Awesome.
And it's kind of still has some noise. So at the end, I use a big upscaler, like it's upscale at 4 scale, like 4 times the scale, the actual scale. And it's going to give a really sharp and clean result. If you have not a lot of frame or GPU or like power, you can just choose a model that upscale less the image, like with like upscale it 2 times or maybe 1 time, but I don't think it's worked really well. Like 2 times minimum. And if you have a great computer or just not a lot of image, you can use a 4. And yeah, I think I've covered everything in 1 hour. 1 hour till.
What I really want to see people do is take your workflow and figure out with your nodes how they can take chunks of what you made and build it into the workflows that they're already using. That's where I think the most exciting part of all this is.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I showcase this workflow, but like in the few weeks that come, and I think we're gonna do, or you can see that it's really crispy. On the weeks that are coming, we're gonna try to just implement the most number of workflow that we can with our node, basically for text to video, for video to video, for abstract kind of generation, for really stable, for state transfer. And we're just gonna do it for all because when you have the audio weight, you can just plug the weight everywhere. Like I'm gonna showcase this on my YouTube channel for other tutorial later, but you can just use the weight for example, for scale the motion of animative, and this kind of thing is really cool. I'm just gonna show some wonder to finish because I think
please.
I have this one that I'm not fully happy about because I do it really quickly, but it's made with maybe you have already seen it on Instagram. No, I'm not gonna get this one. I'm gonna get where it is like that. Okay. Okay, well, I don't think I'm just gonna go this one. So, for example, this one is made with a SDXL workflow with the same time of process like the IPAdapter mode that I show you, but with SDXL. So it allows you to have more textured style. If you see some kind of 1.5 look, it's just because I've done a little upscale after that with 1.5 because I have done the XL part too fast and the result was too crispy with too much detail. So I cleaned it up a little bit. But basically, you can just connect the audio data to every workflow and just play with it. And I have some other one, maybe like this one. You also can't hear the audio, but it switches the style from each input, and it's also with the pixel. And yeah, it switches well. Like this one is switch on bass. And I have another one that was made by Illien. That was on the stream at the beginning that make really great things with the pack. So this one, he has made it with 1.5, like with text to video, so no IPAdapter, no control net, just play with prompt and schedule with the Notepad, and you can see that it just gave like really interesting morph because it don't try to use IPAdapter or whatever. With our pack of nodes, we can just give the audio data to animate GIF, and this is what you have done on this one. You can hear that it switch at each drums, and basically when there are drums, the animate GIF motion increase a lot, and so it gives more motion to the overall animation. And when the weight are more low, the animate GIF motion inject less motion, so you can have like really smooth and abstract visual.
Yeah, man, that one is super cool. That one is super cool.
Yeah, follow Illien. You're gonna make a lot of animation like that. I'm gonna make 2 now that I've finished the most part of the code. And you have the same one, but upscaled with SDXL that gives some kind of all painting style that is really also interesting. Up like that, and yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I personally with this whole thing, I really like the idea of the text to video, especially you bring Laura's into the mix. It just seems like there's so many interesting opportunities to make really cool abstract things with this.
Yep. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna upload the workflow on Civitai, like the text to video. The other one comes a week.
Let me know. Let me know when you do, and I'll push it out on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. But guys, I'm gonna post everything one more time before we wrap up here. So the Civitai page where you guys can download the workflow is right there, and it's also pinned to the top of the Twitch chat. Here is the GitHub. Remember, it really helps Yvann out. If you guys can just take a moment, go to the GitHub, log in, and click the little star at the top right of the page. It really helps him out on GitHub. And then also, as usual, don't forget to follow Yvann on socials at Yvann.mp4. His Instagram is right there. He's always making some next level things, and seeing his videos are always super inspiring because he's always trying to push this stuff forward. And on top of that, he is always willing to share it with everyone. When he made this Notepad, he hit me up. He said, "Hey, let's debut this on the stream." And yeah, man, his friend who is in the video, who is on stream at the very beginning, some of you might have missed some, Illien, he helped him make the Notepad. There's the link to his X or Twitter. Make sure you go give him a follow as well, because I'm sure he'll be posting a lot more stuff. So Yvann, bro, thank you. You are a legend. Thank you so much. It was always dope to have you on here. You're always doing something cool. even cooler that you're always willing to share it with us.
Yep, thanks Bugs to receive me. This stream was really great because it's kind of a checkpoint to the pack of Node, because I was like, oh, I have to finish it for the stream, and so it really pushed me forward to finish it and add a lot of features to render and things like that. And so now the sprint begins, and we're gonna add the more features that we can, and do the tutorial on YouTube, add the documentation, and just make the audio on ComfyUI the more friendly and fun possible. And thanks for everyone for watching.
Please, we need more user-friendly audio reactive tools in Comfy. That really feels like the thing that's missing from a lot of videos, and not everyone wants to go outside and learn Touch Designer, right? I think a lot of people just want to do it all in Comfy. So guys like you are really helping that become possible. So thank you. Next time if you have an update to this, or if you make something else, please just let me know, and we will bring you on the stream anytime to share it with everyone.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. So guys, you have all the links. Go download it, go play with it, go make cool things, post those cool things to Yvonn's model page. Yvann, any last words, or did you say it all?
Just a big thanks to my friend Illien, that really helped me a lot, and I'm sure that we're gonna continue with this node. And just look at this animation, like he made that, and just for that he deserves recognition, because it's just amazing. And yeah, so thanks to him, and thanks to everyone that make custom node on ComfyUI, that make workflow, that share everything. To you with the stream, to Civitai, to Model, like just keep pushing the open source community. We need that, because we can't make that, I guess, with some big model. We don't have the control to really have what we want, and so I think we have to push that the more that we can, to share, to explain to each other, and yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go. Okay, well, guys, that is going to conclude this Civitai creator session. This is Yvann.mp4. I am Tyler, better known as jbugs.creative. This is Civitai.com. You can find us on all of the socials at Hello Civitai. Please like, subscribe, and follow us. It helps us continue to keep bringing you this type of community content. So, guys, that concludes our week. Ali will be back on Monday with office hours. I will see you guys back on Thursday. I am going to go get better and hopefully have my normal voice back by then. So Yvann, sir, thank you once again. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Go make something cool during it and post it on Civitai.com. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Bye.